I'm watching Jennifer Walsh on Channel 7, and for the first time in 6 months, she looks human. Mascara smudged, hands shaking as she tries to explain empty grocery shelves across California. My coffee's gone cold, but I can't look away. We're working to resolve these technical issues, she manages. Behind her, angry farmers hold signs. Where's our money? The news ticker scrolls. Pacific Harvest Logistics under federal investigation. 6 months ago, she called me a dinosaur. Today, her perfect web is falling apart, and she has no idea I'm the one who gave it that first gentle tug. My name is Max Ravenscroft, and for 20 years, I was the guy nobody noticed until something went wrong. I coordinated food distribution for half of Northern California. Not a glamorous job, but it mattered. Every morning, I made sure millions of people had fresh produce in their stores. I'm nobody special. Divorced, bad knee from college baseball, can't figure out smartphones to save my life. My daughter Emma is the only thing I've done perfectly right. Stanford data science major, smarter than her old man ever was. This is the story of how I lost everything, uncovered $1 million scam, and learned that revenge isn't about destroying your enemy. It's about saving what matters. 6 months earlier, 5 a.m. Pacific Harvest Dispatch Center. The coffee maker had been dying for 2 years, making this bitter sludge that everyone complained about but nobody fixed. That was Pacific Harvest, held together by habits and hope. "Jose, how's the arthritis today?" I asked into my headset, scribbling notes on my palm. 20 years in logistics, still couldn't figure out these smartphone apps. "Not great, Max. Better take 580 today." That mattered. Jose's refrigeration unit struggled on mountain grades when his arthritis flared. Something about how he gripped the wheel affected his speed, which affected the cooling. Details like that kept produce fresh. My Stanford mug, Emma gave it to me when she got accepted, was already on coffee number 3. Maria texted about tomorrow's rain forecast. I started shifting Saturday pickups to Friday. The Nguyen family only picked after dawn prayers. Roberto's truck leaked coolant on steep grades. Mrs. Chen needed deliveries by 4 a.m. for her restaurant prep. By 7 a.m., I'd juggled 43 calls and prevented 2 delivery disasters. My bad knee from college baseball was already complaining, but we'd moved $1 million in produce without losing a strawberry. That's when I saw her. Jennifer Walsh, watching from the doorway with some consultant, both taking notes. Something in my gut twisted. You know that feeling when storm clouds gather but the weather report says sunshine? She'd been here 3 months, bringing in cloud chain consultants who shadowed our every move. Learning the workflows, she called it. I called it measuring us for coffins. Next morning, emergency all-hands meeting. Pacific Harvest had survived since 1951, built by immigrant farmers who understood that food was life. Now we moved $400 million annually. The conference room smelled like anxiety and fresh paint. Jennifer entered, heels clicking confidence. Harvard MBA, 34, wearing a suit worth more than most drivers made in a month. But what caught me was her smile. Practiced, like she'd watched videos on how to appear warm. "Change is hard," she began, which is never how good news starts. "But necessary. Pacific Harvest needs digital transformation to survive." Her PowerPoint murdered my life's work slide by slide. My system, she called it personality dependent. My relationships with drivers, unscalable human bottlenecks. My phone calls, inefficient analog processes. "Mr. Ravenscroft here," she gestured at me like I was Exhibit A, "manages our entire Northern California network through personal phone calls and handwritten notes. In 2024, nervous laughter rippled through the room. I felt my face burn. "Cloud chain AI," she continued. processes 10,000 routing decisions per second. No sick days, no arthritis, no feelings getting in the way of efficiency. CloudChain, her previous employer. The consultant beside her, their sales director, nodded enthusiastically. $2 million, Jennifer announced, to revolutionize Pacific Harvest. Some positions will become redundant, but that's progress. She looked straight at me on that last word. Not cruel, exactly. More like a surgeon eyeing a tumor. Nothing personal. Just something that needed removing. Tuesday, 4 p.m., 3 weeks after that meeting, Jennifer's office. They'd already removed Mr. Petrov's family photos, replaced them with abstract art that looked like spreadsheets. "Max, you've been here 20 years, she started, voice carefully modulated. HR sat beside her, stone-faced. "That's amazing, really, but Pacific Harvest needs to evolve. The CloudChain system is still showing bugs. Training issues," she interrupted, but not harshly, almost sympathetic. "Max, let me be honest. Your methods are artisanal, beautiful even. But we're not a craft brewery. We're a logistics company. The Watsonville Ice House needs deliveries between. The AI will optimize those routes." She leaned forward, hands clasped. "I'm not saying what you do isn't valuable. It's like calligraphy in the age of email. Gorgeous, but..." She trailed off, letting me fill in the blank. Obsolete. Unnecessary. Dead. Some of those routes, the AI doesn't understand why. Because they don't make sense, Max. Jose taking longer routes because of arthritis? That's not logistics, that's... She searched for a word that wouldn't sound cruel. Sentiment. "Look, we've been running CloudChain parallel to your system for 2 months. The efficiency gains are undeniable. We don't need both systems anymore." Mosh R slid the paperwork across. Severance. 2 weeks per year of service. Insurance through month's end. Fair. More than fair, actually. "I don't want this to be adversarial," Jennifer said. "You built something special, but special doesn't scale. I hope you understand. It's not personal." That's when I knew she believed it. She wasn't evil. She was worse. She was certain. Security waited outside. Not aggressive, just present. I packed my desk. 20 years in 3 boxes. They took my key card, company phone. Let me keep the Stanford mug. Small mercies. At the door, I turned. Had to say something. "You know, a spider's web looks chaotic until you understand each thread has a purpose. Cut the wrong ones." "I appreciate the poetry, Max. I really do." She smiled that practiced smile. "But we're running a business, not writing haikus." Walking out, I passed drivers I'd known for decades. They looked away. Not from shame, from fear. If 20 years couldn't protect me, what chance did they have? Severance would last 2 months, maybe 3 if I cut everything. Cobra insurance was $1,800 a month. Might as well be $1 million. Still hadn't told Emma about the firing. Jose called, voice tight with panic. "Max, Jesus Christ, the AI sent me through Tehachapi Pass. There's flooding. I almost went off the..." "Slow down. You okay?" Yeah, but Max, the whole load's ruined. Took me 6 hours. And get this, they're charging me for premium routing because I went off the suggested path." Then Maria called. "Max, they scheduled strawberry pickup at 1 p.m. in 96-degree heat. 20,000 pounds destroyed. And they're billing us for suboptimal product handling because the berries were damaged when the truck arrived." My phone became a confessional. Drivers lost, produce rotting, farmers getting charged fees for the AI's mistakes. Emma visited that evening, bringing Thai food from our usual place. My daughter could read me like a map. "Okay, what's wrong?" "And don't say nothing. You ordered medium spice instead of suicide hot." I told her. The firing, the calls, the disasters piling up. Dad, Wait. They're charging penalties for their own system's failures. She abandoned her pad thai, pulled out her laptop. Let me see something. I tried to stop her. This isn't your... Dad, shut up. I'm a Stanford data science major. This is literally what I study. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. 20 minutes later, her face had gone pale. Dad, this cloud chain code, it's just dressed up open source software, like literally available for free on GitHub. But Pacific Harvest paid $2 million? Maybe they customized it? No, Dad, look. She showed me code comparisons. It's copy-paste. They just changed variable names. This is fraud. Like federal crime fraud. The room felt smaller suddenly. Jennifer's certainty made sense now. She wasn't replacing me with better technology. She was replacing me with a lie. Over the next 3 months, I became something I never expected. A detective. But not the Hollywood kind. More like a worried father checking on his kids. Coffee with Hendricks, the retired CFO. Jennifer pushed that contract through fast, he told me. Board barely saw it. She said it was urgent, competitive advantage, all that. Jim, you remember Jim from the board? He asked for competing bids. She said there wasn't time. At the trucker's usual diner, stories emerged. Cloud chain billed for AI route optimization, but drivers got basic Google Maps directions. Premium cooling monitoring was just temperature alerts any phone could do. Emma turned our kitchen table into investigation headquarters. Dad, look at this. Cloud Chain's CEO is David Chen. Guess who David Chen's sister is married to? I knew before she said it. Jennifer's brother-in-law. Bingo. And look here. Every time Cloud Chain bills Pacific Harvest for a premium service, there's a consulting fee paid to JWC Logistics Consulting. Guess who owns that? My anger had been simmering. Now it boiled. But not the hot rage kind. The cold, patient kind. The kind that plans. The Nguyen family invited me for tea. 3 generations of lettuce farmers facing bankruptcy. The fees, Mr. Max, the grandmother said, accent thick with decades in America. Every delivery, more fees, for optimization that sends trucks wrong way. We cannot pay. My grandson, he says we must sell the land. That night, I couldn't sleep. It wasn't about my job anymore. Jennifer was killing something bigger, the whole ecosystem that fed California. Emma found me at 3 a.m., staring at my notebook full of evidence. Dad, we have enough. We should go to... No. I knew what we needed. Evidence isn't enough. People need to see it, feel it. Jennifer's smart. She'll spin any accusation. But she can't spin visible failure. So what do? I smiled, probably looking a bit crazy. We let her system work exactly as designed, and we make sure everyone's watching when it does. Month 4. Cloud Chain's disasters had become predictable. The AI didn't understand exceptions. It just saw inefficiency. Sent 50 refrigerated trucks through the desert in July because it was faster. Scheduled pickups during the Eid days. Routed English-only drivers to farms where nobody spoke English. Emma had connected with a tech journalist from the Mercury News. Her Stanford professor made the introduction. We fed them data carefully. Truck routes, spoiled shipments, farmers' bills. The first article ran with the headline, "When AI Can't Read the Room, Pacific Harvest's Digital Disaster." It went viral. Not because of my story, but because everyone had an AI horror story. The article spawned follow-ups, think pieces, Twitter threads. Cloud Chain Fail started trending. I was at Valley Coffee when I overheard Jennifer on a conference call. She always took them too loud, too public. It's not the system, she insisted. These farmers refuse to adapt. The drivers sabotage the routes. The infrastructure is decades behind. But I could hear the cracks in her certainty. board pressure, lawsuits from grocery chains. The beautiful efficiency she'd promised was a smoking crater. Then her voice dropped, almost broken. David, I need this to work. I staked everything on Cloud Chain, my reputation, my career. The board's breathing down my neck. Can we show improvement somehow? Maybe adjust the metrics for next month's report? Not fake them, just present them differently. Show the potential savings once we work out the bugs. Jen, we're already charging for premium services we're not delivering. That's optimization fees for future improvements. It's standard in tech. The farmers will see the benefit eventually. They have to. This system will work. It just needs more time and investment. My phone was recording. David Chen, her brother-in-law, Cloud Chain's CEO, sounded uncomfortable. Jennifer, at some point we need to deliver actual results. We will, once we get past this resistance. Max poisoned them against progress. If we just had more runway, more budget to fix the issues. Emma showed me Cloud Chain's billing later. They were charging for theoretical future benefits. Not quite fraud, dancing on the edge. Jennifer wasn't a criminal mastermind. She was a drowning person, pulling others down while reaching for a lifeline that didn't exist. Jose called one evening, voice broken. Max, I crashed today. The AI route, construction zone, no warnings, 20 years safe driving, and He couldn't finish. Anyone hurt? No, gracias a Dios, but Max, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. The Watsonville Ice House, 5 generations old, closed. The AI kept scheduling arrivals after hours. Drivers couldn't wait. Produce spoiled. A century of service, ended by an algorithm that couldn't understand closed at 6 p.m. means closed. My phone rang. Patricia Chen, board member. Max, I've been reading your blog. We need to talk. Not at the office. The board. We're concerned. About? Everything. Can you meet tomorrow? Bring your daughter. We need someone who understands the technology. The web was ready. Time for the spider to feel the vibrations. Meeting Patricia Chen felt like a spy movie, except instead of a parking garage, we met at her kitchen table. She'd made tea. Her husband kept the kids busy upstairs. The board hired an independent auditor, she began. Jennifer blocked it, said it would undermine transformation efforts. But Max, we're hemorrhaging money, lawsuits, lost contracts. I laid out everything. Emma's analysis, the billing practices, the system failures. Then I played the recording from the coffee shop. Patricia listened to Jennifer's exhausted voice talking about adjusting metrics and optimization fees for future improvements. Not smoking gun evidence of fraud, but clear proof of desperation and deceptive practices. Patricia's face went through stages: disbelief, anger, sadness. She really believes it will work eventually, doesn't she? That's the problem. She's not lying. She's drowning and taking everyone with her. This could destroy the company. The practices are questionable at best. Not if we act fast, I said. But you need more than my word. You need the farmers to tell their stories publicly. How? Patricia asked. She posts every Saturday from the farmers' market. Instagram stories, showing how she supports local agriculture. Same farmers her system is destroying. What if those farmers had something to say about that? Max, she has lawyers, a PR firm, not if she doesn't see it coming. She still thinks she's the hero of this story. Just make sure the board is watching that morning. That Saturday, I positioned myself at the market's center, but hidden. Emma had contacted the farmers, the ones with the worst Cloud Chain stories. They didn't need convincing. Phase 1. Emma published her technical analysis of Cloud Chain's failures at 8 a.m. Within hours, number Cloud Chain scam was trending, boosted by the Mercury News reporter's retweet. Phase 2. When farmers' phones started ringing with Cloud Chain's latest failure, Morning routes in chaos again. I stepped out. Old numbers they'd kept. I started coordinating, just like old times. Gonzalez Farms? Yeah, I know a driver near Modesto. Jose, yes, he's back working independent. Let me connect you. One call became 5. 5 became 20. Word spread. Max was at the market, fixing things. Local news arrived, tipped off by our Mercury News contact. They'd been following the story for weeks. Cameras rolling as I coordinated rescues from my cell phone. Nothing dramatic, just a guy helping neighbors. But every success highlighted Cloud Chain's failures. My phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Cease all Pacific Harvest-related activities immediately. Legal action will follow. Whitman and Associates, representing Jennifer Walsh. I showed it to the camera. Looks like someone doesn't want farmers getting their deliveries today. Then Jennifer arrived. Yoga pants, designer sunglasses, reusable bags. She saw the crowd, the cameras, and me at the center. Her practiced smile flickered. She pulled out her phone, probably calling her lawyers, then thought better of it. Can't look weak on camera. She pushed through. What are you doing? Helping out. Farmers needed deliveries. I know some drivers. You're interfering with company operations. What operations? Your system crashed. Again. I'm just a guy with a phone and a memory. She stepped closer, lowered her voice. This is sabotage. I'll sue you into dust. For what? Making phone calls? Besides, I kept my voice calm. How can I sabotage something that's still in beta? I saw it then, the exhaustion under her makeup. She looked thinner than 6 months ago. Her hands shook slightly. You don't understand, she said, and for a moment the mask slipped. I'm trying to save this company. Pacific Harvest was bleeding money. The old ways, they don't scale. We need efficiency to survive. Efficiency? Jorge Mendez stepped forward. You charged me $8,000 for premium routing. My tomatoes died in the heat. 3 generations of farming, and you. Those are optimization fees for system improvements. Once Cloud Chain is fully functional. When? Mrs. Nguyen had found her voice. 6 months you promise improvements. 6 months we pay for nothing. My grandson works at Google now. We cannot wait for your promises. Jennifer looked around the circle. Farmers, drivers, customers, cameras. Her phone buzzed repeatedly. Board members, lawyers, David. The system needs more time, she said. But even she didn't seem to believe it anymore. Technology transitions are always difficult. We're so close to breakthrough, if everyone would just trust the process. Someone laughed. Not cruel, just tired. Trust? It was Jose, neck brace visible. I trusted your AI. 20 years safe driving ruined. Jennifer's phone rang. She looked at the screen. Patricia Chen. The crowd wasn't angry anymore. They were worse. Disappointed. Watching someone drown in their own certainty. For one moment, our eyes met. I saw her as she truly was. Brilliant, ambitious, and catastrophically wrong. Someone who'd confused metrics with meaning, efficiency with effectiveness. I was trying to help, she said quietly, maybe to me, maybe to herself. Then louder to the cameras. Everything I did was for Pacific Harvest's future. The board will vindicate my decisions. She turned and walked away, phone still ringing. The crowd parted. The cameras followed, catching her stumble slightly in those designer heels. Emma appeared beside me. Dad, you okay? I watched Jennifer's retreating figure. You know what's sad? She really believes she was saving us. Still believes it. Maybe that's worse than being a villain, Emma said. At least villains know what they are. 3 months later. Old Mr. Petrov's office. They'd found his photos in storage, put them back up. I sat in his chair, looking at the same view he'd seen for 30 years. My credit cards were maxed from 6 months of unemployment, and Emma had quietly covered my last month's rent, though we never talked about it. Jennifer was gone, resigned to pursue other opportunities after the board review. Not fired, allowed to leave with some dignity. The federal investigation found aggressive billing practices, but no criminal fraud. Cloud Chain went bankrupt. David Chen lost his house. Jennifer, I heard, moved back with her parents in Connecticut. They'd offered me CEO. I took COO instead. I'm a logistics guy, I told the board. Get someone who understands money for the big chair. Patricia Chen pulled me aside after the meeting. You know, Jennifer's final report to the board. She recommended bringing you back, said the company needed your institutional knowledge. She did? She wasn't evil, Max, just certain. And certainty without wisdom is dangerous. The real work was harder than exposing fraud. Trust, once broken, grows back slowly. I visited every farm, every driver, listened, apologized, made promises I could keep. Jose came back part-time. My arthritis can handle 3 days a week, he said. His accident had left him with permanent neck problems, but he needed the work. We built routes around his limitations. The Nguyen family kept their land, barely. We restructured their debt, but their eldest son had already taken a job in tech to help pay bills. 6 months in, I got a LinkedIn message from Jennifer. Just 2 words. I'm sorry. I stared at it for a long time, then typed back, I know. Because I did know. She'd wanted to build something better. She just forgot that better isn't always faster, cheaper, or more efficient. Sometimes better is understanding why things are the way they are before you try to fix them. Emma joined full-time after graduation, heading our new Intelligent Logistics division. Real intelligence, systems that supported human decisions instead of replacing them. You know what Cloud Chain got wrong? She told me over lunch. They thought the inefficiencies were bugs. They were features. Jose's longer route avoids afternoon traffic. The Watsonville timing exists because their equipment runs on a different schedule. Every quirk had a reason. We implemented technology carefully. GPS tracking that suggested, but didn't demand. Data analysis that flagged problems but trusted humans to solve them. Algorithms that learned from experience instead of theories. When the new CEO suggested we should still optimize human touchpoints, I pushed back. Efficiency isn't about speed, it's about understanding. Jose takes the long route because 20 years taught him when his truck struggles. That knowledge saves more money than any algorithm. The news cycle had moved on. Jennifer Walsh was consulting for a startup. Something about disrupting healthcare. God help them. But we didn't talk about her. We talked about the future, the farmers' market partnership, training programs for young drivers, technology that served tradition instead of destroying it. Patricia Chen pulled me aside after a board meeting. You know, you could have destroyed us, used the blog to burn it all down. That would have hurt the farmers more than Jennifer. That's why you're here and she's not. You understood something she didn't. Business is personal. It's all personal. 1 year later, Emma's official graduation dinner. She'd walked 6 months ago, but we'd been too busy for a proper celebration. We went to the Thai place, ordered suicide hot like always. Remember when you tried to keep me out of this? She asked. Best failure of my life. We talked about the new routes, the farmer co-op we'd helped establish, the sustainable growth plans. Jennifer's name didn't come up. That chapter was closed. You know what I really learned? Emma said. The spider web thing. It's not just about the pattern, it's about the spider. The web works because someone's there, feeling every vibration, fixing every break, understanding every connection. When did you get so wise? Stanford education. Also, I had a good teacher. We clinked Stanford mugs. She'd gotten me a new one for Christmas. The old one sat on my desk, a reminder of where we'd been. The next morning, 5 a.m. dispatch center. The coffee maker was new, but I'd programmed it to make the same terrible brew. Some traditions matter. Jose called in. Arthritis is good today, Max. I can take the mountain route. Thanks, Jose. Mrs. Chen needs her delivery by 4. You're our best shot. Emma sat beside me, laptop open, tracking weather patterns and traffic flows. The sun came up over the valley, lighting up 10,000 square miles of farmland. The network spread before us. Not perfect, never perfect, but improving. Thousands of connections, each with its purpose, each maintained by someone who understood why it mattered. A spider's web isn't beautiful because it's perfect. It's beautiful because every thread has a reason, every connection serves life. And at the center, someone who knows that efficiency isn't speed, it's understanding. Someone who feels every vibration and knows which ones matter. The phone rang. Emma answered, Pacific Harvest Logistics. How can we help you today? I smiled and reached for coffee number 2. The web was complete, stronger for being tested, ready for whatever came next.